Hello, friend. How are we?
We're good.
We're good.
God, I'd hate me if I wasn't me.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Welcome to the Daily Grind here on Latte FM, Sunday, the 1st of February. And what a start to the month it's been. Arsenal have won emphatically at Ellen Road to beat Leeds by 4-0 yesterday. And today, Manchester City have been beaten by our silver members. Not beaten. They have had their daggers. They have had points. And Aston Villa, of course, losing as well. Their title charge lasted long. But Laura Kirk, friend, how are we? How are you?
We're good. So much better than this time last week. My God. This time last week, I was sitting in the Popeyes down my road with a very sad chicken burger because McDonald's was shut and I'd locked myself out of my house on the way home from the Emirates. So it's chalk and cheese. So the vibes are very much back this week. They're very much back.
Oh, I'm here for it. It feels like a bubble that I just don't want to burst. And it feels like a dream. I'm going to wake up any minute now to realise that we're top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, going strong in the League Cup and in the FA Cup. But look at us. Just look at us. So talking of looking at you, Fringe FC, what's going on? New look?
Yeah, so I had this cut in about, this is such boring chat for people to log on. I've been talking about
everyone's on cloud nine tonight. You can talk about whatever you like.
Listen up, people. I'm a riddle you about the story of my Fringe. Basically, I watched The Devil Wears Prada on my flight home from Vietnam, and I thought I really like Anne Hathaway's Fringe. I was like, I like her Fringe, so I went and got one cut, and it's had its moment. I am in the process of growing it out because I can't be asked to style it every day. But I like it for the moment. But yeah, it is on its way out, unfortunately. But
it's a good look, and that is an elite film. It is an elite film. And by the way, you've been up to a new podcast. Tell us the details.
Yes, do you know what I thought, FK? There aren't enough podcasts. Obviously. There's nowhere near enough people talking in front of microphones, and there's definitely not enough people talking about Arsenal.
Yeah, quite indeed. Yeah,
you need another one.
Exactly, you need another one. It's an untapped opportunity. Oh, well, good luck with it. And where can people find it?
You can find it on Spotify, on YouTube, wherever you listen. But I will say, FK, you and Latte Firm are a real trailblazer for this type of podcast. Really, really, because, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass because I'm here, you have created a community of people who care very deeply, who want to be you want to talk seriously about it, but we also want to have a bit of a lull. And I just think that's the kind of the middle of the Venn diagram where you operate, and that's kind of the sort of general aspect that we are in as well. So you are really the trailblazer for it, and I'm sure everyone watching will agree.
Oh, mate, I never ever thought Venn diagram, such a wonderful thing, would ever be mentioned on this channel. But there we are. Thank you. And listen, I hope you smash it. I've tuned into obviously the first episode, which was great. I'm going to keep tuning into them, and people do check it out. Go check out Laura's feed as well. People in the chat are happy tonight. Beautiful scenes when Scorpion Solanke channeled his inner Olivier Giroud. Absolutely beautiful. Louis, welcome. Just clocked Spurs won 4 points from City this season. Thank you. Thomas Frank. Evening FK, says Shale. What a great weekend. And Ruben Neves online. We'll talk about Mikel Merino because there is breaking news that he has broken his foot. He requires surgery. He will be out for a while. And the deadline is tomorrow for transfer activity. Could we? Is Berta going to Bert? We will find out. Viggs says, told you, FK, league's done by April. It's that simple. Them lot are not on our level. But to be fair, Laura, Viggs has been saying this all throughout the season. He is immensely confident. And I got to say, he's not letting up. Young Gunner says, hello, FK. I listen on Spotify every episode, and I always leave a comment. It's my first live I'm tuning in for. Love the work, mate. Thank you so much. And you guys are such a wonderful community, like Laura says. And Laura is the sort of guest that we love to have on these shows. So thank you so much for tuning in. I forgot to do all the regular housekeeping stuff. If you are tuning in for the first time and you enjoy tonight's content, tonight's gloating, tonight's insufferableness, if that's a word, please do drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And a warm welcome to our channel members and Patreon members. Thank you so much for your support. Laura, where do we begin? In fact, I've balls it up again. Let me just get this out of the way. Some housekeeping, people. Some housekeeping. Laura, get this. I am now on TikTok. I don't have any idea what I'm doing, but once I get the hang of it, I will be unstoppable.
It's over for you. It's over for everyone. Once you get the hang of TikTok, I mean, we are both collectively 15 years too old to be on TikTok, but needs must. Okay, we got to know what the kids are talking about.
Indeed. Do check it out. Go over to TikTok/Latte Firm. Is that how it works? But we are on there. There are some videos on there. Check out Patreon. Hand of Arsenal. That logo is deliberate. He is in the chat on the Patreon. He's part of the Patreon group, and Spotify and Apple members welcome as well. The chat is wild. I'm going to get to some of the chats as soon as I can, but let's dive straight into. I'm being so naughty. Look at us, Laura Kirk. Look at us. Oh, well, I mean, look, where do we start? Let's start by getting your thoughts on yesterday. An emphatic win for Arsenal at Ellen Road, a game that we had to win given the 3 games prior, drawing to Liverpool at home, which I thought was a very passive performance, drawing away to Nottingham Forest, which I thought was a tired performance, and then, of course, losing to Manchester United at the Emirates. And the rhetoric was all very negative. The media narrative was out there about this is it. This is the wobble. These are the cracks that are going to start appearing. So it was very, very important, given we played 24 hours before City, to go there and get the win. And win we did.
I just think this was a performance that we have been owed, is the wrong way of saying it, but this is still the same group of players who have put us in this position. And I think in those draws that we've had, there were still moments where we could have won and we should have been better. So this was kind of like, for me, the coming together of all the things that have kind of missed, we've been missing in the last couple. But equally, I'm like, I can say this now with hindsight, I'm not massively surprised by it. We'd kind of saved up this sort of slapping for someone. And I think how big a result and a performance it is you can't overestimate it, because, as you say, the narrative was bad last week. It really was. I was feeling awful all week. I was genuinely falling into that. This is it. You know, we've kind of been sucked back in. We're now in a scrap. But this was very much a reminder to ourselves, to our fans, and to our rivals, like we are top for a reason. And this was it. It was really, really professional, dominant, lovely stuff. Like 10 out of 10, basically.
It really was. And Leeds have been so good at home. You know, certainly since the 1st of December in the Premier League, they're 6th in the form table, if you like. And they've only lost twice at Ellen Road. But yesterday, we absolutely reduced them to nothing in front of their own. And it was glorious. And of course, set piece, own goals, which I believe now has actually been sort of credited to Noni Madueke. It's probably more embarrassing for the Premier League, to be honest.
Especially as he called it out in his interview. It really looks like he's been like, excuse me, that's actually my goal. Oh, okay, we'll give it to you. But I don't care. He gets a goal. That's his first goal, his first Premier League goal for us, I think. So happy days. Also, it's a great delivery. It's going in. Fine by me.
It makes sense. Like the goalkeeper may as well just not be there, because that would have been his goal and his first Premier League assist, both in the same game, which is great. By the way, quick shout out to our Arsenal women. Champions Cup winners tonight at the Emirates after extra time, 3-2 against the Corinthians, and Arsene Wenger handing out the medals. It was so beautiful to see.
I literally, when he came on the screen, I went, Uncle.
Dad, for me.
Dad.
Listen,
Daddy.
Can I just say, if we are, I don't want to ask. I don't even want to romanticize. But okay, look, if it happens and we win the league, is Arsene going to be there on the last home game of the season?
He'll definitely be there. He'll be sitting in the box.
Going to be like giving out stuff and on the pitch. And don't do this. No, listen, we got to keep calm. Keep calm. Dave, welcome to the show. Says, what a weekend. Come on, you Gunners. And Dave is a Patreon member. And by the way, Patreon members, there is one single ticket for the Arsenal-Chelsea game up for grabs. Do check it out. Face value. It's in the ticket chat. Jizzle McDizzle says, last week my head was in orbit, and just like that, they pull me back in. Laura, overall thoughts on our current position? We look ahead to Chelsea on Tuesday. Obviously a great game yesterday. We'll talk about City and talk about the league table in just a second. Has this kind of blown your mind, just how kind of far we've come and how well we're doing?
It has, but also I think I've become a bit normalized to it. I'm getting a bit spoiled, I think. I think I'm kind of very used to us being at the top of the table, particularly this season. Champions League has been fantastic. You know, 100% record, very few goals conceded. We're in a good position in the Carabao Cup, but I still, I still think tomorrow's going to be, or Tuesday's going to be difficult. But for me, this is the culmination of 3 or 4 years, everything coming together. And it is no more or less than what I think this group of players deserve. I think it's what this manager deserves. These things don't happen overnight. And it often looks like, oh, suddenly suddenly we're first in all these competitions, we're in the semi-final. Oh, where have Arsenal come from? We've been here. We've been knocking on this door. So in a way, I'm not surprised, because I genuinely think this is what this team is deserving of. But at the same time, as a fan, you are a bit like, wow, this is across the board good. And Arteta's not been good at semi-finals and cups and things. So I would love us to get to the Carabao Cup final. I really think it would be so important for this season. It would give them so much competition. But just seeing that on the slide there, chef's kiss.
Isn't it? You're getting a lot of love in the chat, by the way. Thank you all, everyone, for the kind messages on Laura. Can I ask a slightly difficult question? What's the bare minimum that Arsenal and Arteta, because it is a collective, it's not just the gaffer, have to win this season from here for you to consider it as a really good season?
I have to be honest. I think for me, it is the league, because of the position that we are in, and because of how fragile City seem to look on occasion. So for me, this is a different City that we are up against. I don't think they look capable of going on one of the City runs that they've been on in previous years. So from the position that we are in now, as someone's just said there, we play Sunderland on Saturday. They go to Anfield. I strongly suspect Liverpool beat them at Anfield, because that's just the sort of stuff that Liverpool do. From that, I'm like, the bare minimum is the league, because we are in such a commanding position. And as I said, I don't think City... I think we will drop points. Don't get me wrong. I can't see us, it's not going to be easy running, but I don't think City are the same ruthless kind of chaser behind us anymore as today showed. So for me, FK, I'm going to be harsh. I think it needs to be the Premier League. I think that is the bare minimum.
I can't disagree. I think the position that we're in at the moment, he's got to pick up at least one or two for it to be a really, really great season. And obviously, for me personally, many people have sort of thrown pelters at me about this before. Premier League over anything else. That is bread and butter, to be champions of your own country. And it's been so long since we've won it. I recognise we've never won the Champions League, but for me, that's number one. And if we are to pick up a bonus trophy, if it could be the Champions League, that'd be amazing. But one of the
a little bonus
would be amazing. Yeah, exactly. Just that little bonus.
bonus.
Let's talk about obviously the Premier League action today, because our silver members are doing the job. I mean, it was did you watch the game?
Yes, I did. And
it was the most
my God,
unusual match, right? Just tell me your raw emotion.
The first half, I was like, is the sound not on? Genuinely, it reminded me of in COVID, when there was no one in the stadium, you could hear the players shouting at each other and you could kind of pick up little things. That's what it felt like. I have never seen such a dead atmosphere from a team playing, looking like they weren't trying. I was like, and I actually have to agree with Gary Neville. He was like, this feels like Soccer Aid. I was like, this looks like a Sidemen match. This looks like the third and fourth place playoff in a tournament where everyone's already gone home. Like, I don't even know, FK. I've got no words for you for this, because I was just like, this is shocking. On what loser mentality, proper loser mentality.
I have to say, it was a real mixture of emotions. Like I turned the telly on. The first 10 minutes, I thought, oh, Spurs look okay. And then City obviously scored. It was through Shirky. It was a great goal, breakaway goal, and from outside the box, great finish. And I was like, okay, academics can be 3 or 4-0. And like you, I just could not believe how quiet the stadium was. I think there was a mix of fear and trepidation from the Spurs fans about, oh my God, what if we take points off this City team? What's it going to mean? To almost like frustration that the season's just been so crap. I mean, they were utter shit in that first half. And when they scored the second, just before half time, I saw Thomas Frank and I thought, this guy's going to lose his nut at half time. Because for him, it's more than obviously being a silver member, but it's more than that. It's pride, right? He doesn't want to get embarrassed on the biggest stage. So they came out second half and it was unbelievable. I mean, they could have won it right at the death had it not been for Donnarumma.
And it's so glorious as an Arsenal fan, because the Spurs fans in that situation cannot win. They cannot win because they've got to sit there miserable and pretend that they're happy because obviously they're losing, and that does a favour to City over Arsenal. But you cannot tell me as a football fan that anyone in that stadium was having fun in that first half. Like, that is a miserable place to be in. And also, even if we were in the same position, not that this would ever happen because we're not a bunch of losers, I would still outwardly want Arsenal to win. You could not waterboard the information out of me that I was wanting my team to lose. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. So just watching them squirm for the first 45 minutes, I did think to myself, well, if City do go on to win this, then at least the fans have been miserable. And I did enjoy the camera work, occasionally just panning to a group of Spurs fans just standing there, like still as statues. Oh, injection! I might even rewatch it tomorrow.
Do you know what? I mean, I can't wait for match of the day. I kind of need to just absorb it all. But like,
yes,
when they scored, it was just such a weird sort of cheer. Like, you knew that deep down they were processing, oh my God, but what about Arsenal?
But what about
really
Arsenal?
What about Arsenal? Hey, what about us? Harsh says, you're both so dramatic together. Chat, did you know that they share the same birthday? Do we? Are you? When were you? New Year's Eve?
No, I'm the 2nd of Jan.
Are you? Oh my God, we're 2 days apart, but like over 15 years. But yeah, it is what it is. I can't believe you're 15 years older than me. Unbelievable. But yeah, look, listen, drop points, and Pep has lost it. I mean, I don't know if you saw the post-match interview.
I did. It was excruciating. He is such a child.
Excruciatingly good.
He's just going like this. What? Yeah. If I was that reporter, I mean, to be fair, I don't know who it was. It was someone from Sky. Did a really good job at just kind of like letting the silence carry on, because the reporter's not the one that looks like a dickhead there. Pep is. Do you know what I mean? Like, he just kind of just let him embarrass himself, because completely normal questions, Oh, hand of Arsenal, don't tease me.
Hand of Arsenal is here, as he always is, in the background, just watching every show. And like I said earlier, to the hundreds of you watching, he is obviously part of our Patreon community as well. I mean, with Arsene obviously being there, that would be just the fairy tale. And if it's the big one as well that we can maybe parade, that'd be unbelievable at some point. Some sort of trophy parade with Arsene coming out. Anyway, let's not.
One game at a time.
One game at a time. Yeah. Breathe. Pep has absolutely lost it. I mean, I saw the interview and I just thought to myself, this is unbelievable. Like, heat of the moment stuff. Nobody wants to be interviewed in that situation. You've just dropped points against Spurs, who you should be tonking, but he was livid. He might have even murdered someone tonight.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
And also, Spurs that's the team that he has lost most to in his entire Premier League career, right? So that's just another, the kind of hoodoo that Spurs have over Man City needs to be studied. It's fascinating. Like, how are you getting bitched by Spurs?
I know.
Apart from when we actually needed Spurs last couple of seasons ago to win, but he's lost it, man. The bald man has lost it.
He has absolutely lost it. Ramsey says they're now in a relegation battle. Good. I hope they get fucked, and I hope they go down, and I can't wait for it. Sorry for the language. M. Dot says, "Ooh, what a lovely weekend." Good evening, FK. It is a lovely, lovely weekend. Let's move away from Spurs. Let's talk about where it leaves us. I mean, look, first of all, on the left-hand side, we'll talk about Merino in just a second. Get your thoughts on the window that remains open for one more day. I mean, again, just take it all in. Just look at it. 53 points from 24. 6-point gap now over City, and Aston Villa losing at home today to 10-man Brentford. Did you watch that?
I did. Oh, I watched it.
Glorious.
We were watching very closely when obviously their goal was disallowed, and
Tammy Abraham, yeah, they had the entire momentum. Yeah,
he was like, the ball is out. The ball went out, and I was like, they're never gonna go back that far because it's at a different phase, and I was like absolutely convinced they were going to give it and that we were going to have all this thing. But fair enough, disallowed. Obviously, Jamie Redknapp was like, "Oh, it's a bit, it's not conclusive." Yes, it is. The ball is clearly out. Like, you don't need a million angles. You can see green in between. Anyway, another good day as a little precursor to the 4:30. But fair play to Brentford. Fair play. Like,
They were
really dug
brilliant.
in. They were brilliant. Then they should get all the praise for it.
Indeed. And listen, I can't believe, on a serious note, in 2026 that we don't have Hawkeye at every Premier League ground.
It's
Like,
insane, isn't it?
what the hell? I mean, we are making judgments based on just terrible TV replays.
The available camera angle, which changes based on where the cameras are in each stadium. You may as well, just put your finger in there and be like, I can kind of see it. But
yeah, do you remember that whole feature when the ball went out of play at St James's and Gary Neville was talking about the curvature of the ball and stuff? I mean, honestly,
what are we doing?
What are we doing? Absolutely right. Embarrassing. Well, listen, as good as the league table looks, there is a lot of football to play, 14 games to go. And interestingly, as a lot of people mentioned earlier, we play Sunderland without Granit Xhaka this weekend, which is good. And we play 24 hours before Manchester City go to Anfield, which is going to be some game. Liverpool just turning the handle and getting into some good form. But it's not all been good news because Mikel Merino is now out for the foreseeable. The Arsenal statement on socials has really worried me. Now, listen, Hand of Arsenal is in the chat and he sort of gives us a little bit, snippets here and there. And at first it was, surgery required, broken foot, at least 3 months. But the Arsenal statement says the aim is to get back to training before the end of the season. And obviously, on a personal note, the World Cup is around the corner. You'd expect him to be going to Spain. That's going to be devastating. But this is going to be a huge miss. And for a player, Laura, who I've really failed to understand, if I'm being brutally honest. Like, I don't know what his best position is. He's just like an all-round Swiss-Spanish army knife. He does everything that we ask him to do. He's very intelligent. He's been really good over the last few weeks, to be fair. So he's going to be a big miss. How did you what did you make of that news?
I couldn't agree more. I think this is a really, really big miss for us for the very reason that you just said, which is he doesn't have for me anyway, it's not a specific place that he slots into. He really can do almost everything effectively. And I just think that statement says to me, he's not playing the rest of the season. That's just me being dramatic, but aiming to be back in training by the end of the season. Back in training could mean, weeks to go until we actually see him match fitness. We have no idea how many games we'll be playing at that point. I think it's a really, really big miss for Arsenal. I think he's come off the bench a couple of times. I think it's a Man United game where he was maybe the only one where he actually made a bit of an impact. I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted for him because he's been so good for us. He's also scored loads of really important goals for us. And he's a real kind of nuisance on the pitch. So I'm gutted. I'm gutted for him from a World Cup standpoint. But, when it comes to backs against the walls, we need a goal. He is genuinely one of the players that I think he's just going to get himself in the right position and do what he needs to do, whatever that is. It's a real shame. And I'm gutted for him.
Absolutely gutted. Like lots of people have said, is there, a more team player than Mikel Merino? He comes in any position, whether it's midfield, whether it's up front, and he carried us through as best as he could towards the back end of last season. And this year he's showing his value again, and it's such a shame for him on a personal level. Obviously, Spain will be devastated as well, and he's such a clutch goal threat, as Jizzle McDizzle says, which kind of brings me on to the last sort of bit of tonight's show, which is you look at the squad depth. This is a graphic that I sort of put together, and I was having a conversation with Yankee Gunner, Elliot of the Arsenal Vision podcast, just a couple of weeks ago, where I sort of put to him, Elliot, we are going on all four fronts, and the January window is open, and we've seen City do what they've done with Guehi and Semenyo. At what point do you want Arsenal to kind of respond to that and the same question to you, Laura, in a sort of, City, I see you and I raise you. Like, we have a chance to do something really special. And obviously I wasn't anticipating Merino to get injured, but here we are. There's still a day to go. There are some top midfielders out there that we could go knocking on the door for with a lot of money, and PSR, FFP, all that sort of stuff is not an issue, according to our good friend Kieran Maguire, who is the finance nerd that everybody should be following. Do you expect anything tomorrow? Is it Ruben Neves on loan? Lots of people are sort of speculating coming over from Saudi.
I always have a 5% inkling that something big is going to happen, like something really dramatic, big kind of last minute signing. But number one, I think in January that's always more difficult. I don't see it, if I'm completely honest, mainly because I think this team is very settled. I think the game at the weekend showed what fantastic depth we have off the bench. Like the fact that you can drop Martin Odegaard, bring him back on, he provides an assist. I think Kai is just coming back. Don't get me wrong, I would love Arsenal to completely prove me wrong. I don't see it from how we've behaved in previous January transfers. We tend to be a little bit more cautious, especially, I mean, last year nothing happened. On the flip side, though, as you say, City have gone big. We are but a couple of injuries again. If someone gets injured, let's say Saka, I think he is injured at the moment, we start going, oh, we should have bought someone. We should have bought someone in January. So I think it's going to be a quiet day tomorrow based on no insider knowledge whatsoever. But just the sense I get from Arsenal at the moment is that they're settled. The only caveat being with Merino, whether they might fancy a little dabble, but I think it might be a quiet day for us.
I mean, Amadou Onana has just talked about, wanting to move to a big club. He's at Villa. You got Morgan Rogers, who I don't think would leave, but look, Elliot Anderson at Forest, Adam Wharton, Palace have a bench of like 6 children.
Yeah,
like someone took a picture of the Palace bench today, and they were like, I couldn't even tell you what club that was. That was my response to the group chat. I don't know football the best of days, but like, just go and smash that door in and say, Adam Wharton, come. Who wouldn't want to play for Arsenal? The position that we're in at the moment. I mean, honestly,
yeah. I saw a name in there as well. The Bournemouth guy who scored an absolute screamer yesterday. Is it Krupi?
Wasn't it? Yeah,
Krupi. So,
maybe. I mean, I hear the Opt is training with us at the moment. One last dance. No.
He's one of those ones who in my head, he's like 38, 39, and he's probably 32, still going.
Yeah, indeed. Sean says that, love you both. Great weekend. Hatewatch complete. Deadline day tomorrow, ? Says Hand of Arsenal, tongue in cheek. Jeez, look how naughty and cheeky he's being. Everyone can play at that game. Love it. Yeah, listen, look, deadline day tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen. I just think, like you, Laura, you look at that squad and you think, right, if Merino is now not one of the midfield selection, it could be a case of Miles Lewis-Skelly going in to make up that 6, but we're just, one injury away from sort of looking over our shoulders nervously and thinking, right, who's on the bench? Who can we pull through? Ethan Nwaneri going to Marseille. I know he's not a central midfielder, but yeah, just another. I was annoyed about that timing. Like, we should have just let him go on deadline day, like completely sort of measured. But
I do. The Christian Norgaard's performances lately have like really impressed me, and I do wonder whether Arteta's management of him has been actually spot on. He's not played. Then, as we're getting to kind of like crunch point of the season, he's played in a couple of really important games, like the Carabao Cup, etc. He's no mug, and I don't think we should forget about him. But again, just in terms of an attacking standpoint, it is annoying that Nwaneri's gone early in the transfer window, because we really maybe could have done with him, but we didn't know that. So.
Indeed. And Paul says Norgaard has shown he's our midfielder wild card. I think Christian Norgaard is being slept on. I think he's a very, very fine player. Someone who's Premier League proven, established, captained Brentford. I think he's ready, and he's shown some really bright glimpses.
Yeah, he's quite calm as well. There's something I feel quite comfortable with him on the pitch. Like there's some sort of calming, and that he's former captain, he's played in the Premier League for a long time. So I think some of that is, I think as we start to get to squeaky bum time, although it does feel like squeaky bum time all the time with Arsenal, someone like that is very, very important. It's not the Jorginho role, but I always felt like Jorginho had a lot more influence beyond just what he did on the pitch. And I see Norgaard a little bit in the same.
Indeed. Andy, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, man. 6 month loan for Xhaka. I start crying. Robert says, my guess it's time for our depth to step up. So Eze and Norgaard will be massive. And of course, Kai Havertz now back in amongst the goals. He had 2 starts in a row, 45 minutes against Kairat, an hour yesterday at Leeds. Hopefully, he will be good to go. Final thoughts. Chelsea, Tuesday. I think Arteta's going to Arteta. We're going to go strong. What are you expecting at the Emirates, Laura? Are we going to go through to Wembley?
I think we are. I think Chelsea, obviously, they won in the last minute on Saturday. Hopefully, that would have taken quite a lot out of them in terms of effort, in terms of emotion. So that's quite good for us. And we obviously had a slightly less intense game. I would love it if we could just score really early, because that would just alleviate a lot of the pressure. But I don't think we're going to cruise through. But I think over the 2 legs, I think we're in a good position. If we can get a nice early goal and just keep the pressure up, then we'll see you at Wembley. and I would love to go to Wembley. It's been a while. It really has. And it's one of my favourite days out when you get to go to Wembley.
It's been such a long time. Do you know, when we won the FA Cup in 2014, I brought my seat home with me as a souvenir.
Did you?
I just took it off and basically brought home my entire Wembley seat, and it sits at home as one of my proudest things that I've ever stolen.
That's amazing.
It's really cool.
2017 one when we beat Chelsea. I was there, and the one good thing about Wembley is that they sell Smirnoff Ice. Like, you can get Smirnoff Ice from the bars. And I was at the front of the queue, and we were about to kick off, and I was panicking a bit, and I just like, right, can I have 4 Smirnoff Ice all for myself? And I turn around, and the person behind me is one of my clients at work. And he's like, "Oh, hi, Laura." And I've got 4 Smirnoff Ice, all clearly for me. But what a wonderful day. And that's what I'm looking forward to if we can get past Chelsea on Tuesday.
At that point, you just own it. You don't even worry about trying to explain.
I was like, "Do you want one?"
There you go. Indeed. Well, there we have it. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. Over 500 of you watching right now, right at the end, which is amazing. If you're tuning in for the first time and you've enjoyed tonight's content, please do, of course, subscribe to Latte Firm and get involved in socials at lattefirm.tiktok or whatever it is. We're on Apple and Spotify and all that sort of jazz. If you want to support the channel for the price of a coffee a month, get over to Patreon and have access to match tickets and Hannah Varsel in the group chat as well. Do that. And of course, you get ad-free content as a result. If you want to follow Laura, she's available at LauraKirk12. We'll be back tomorrow with a Chelsea preview, a deadline day sort of summary. So enjoy your Mondays. Everyone's going to bounce into work, bounce into school and whatever. And also Tuesday, Laura, LinkedIn Liam. We need to send him. We need to end this. I don't like him. I don't like his chat.
He's annoying, isn't he?
He's so annoying.
He's so annoying.
He's
putting his hand up. He's putting his hand up at the end of class, reminding the teacher to set homework. That's the vibe I get from him. He's like a sort of Randall from Recess type snitch, and I don't like it.
Yeah, we need to finish that. Right, look after yourselves. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy match of the day. Just go and take it all in again, because it has been a glorious Sunday, and that's Arsenal now 6 points clear with 14 games to go. Bye for now.